Hi everybody, it's Mama D. Welcome back to my channel, Mama D Reacts, and I've got the fourth episode of Outlander. It's called The Gathering, and it's been a while since we were there, so just a brief recap. Claire Beecham was out in the Scottish Highlands with her husband. They'd been through World War II. She was a nurse on the battlefield. He was like in charge of the spies or something like that. But anyway, they went to Scotland for a little second honeymoon, whatever, after the war was over. And he's a history buff, and he was investigating his great grandfather, black, what they call him? He was some Scottish, some British general in the red coats, and Blackjack, that was his name. And so they decided to, it was Halloween, they decided to sneak out to the woods where these stones, these huge stones like Stonehenge were, and there was, some history stories about the witches and that. So they come up on these women or these people having this pagan ritual with, lights and candles and dancing around these stones and everything. And so she falls, and the next thing she knows, she's 200 years in the past. She's in the same spot, but she looks over there, and here's Blackjack, her husband's great-great-great-grandfather, looks just like him. And he's not a nice person. And she gets rescued by these Scottish guys and ends up being taken back to their Castle Leoch. And just strangely enough, the day before, her and her husband were walking through Castle Leoch. Obviously, it's abandoned and a ruin now, but she remembered the rooms that she was in. It was pretty strange. So anyway, she wants to escape, and she wants to go home, and she wants to find those stones again and hopefully get back to where she can go through time again and get back to the present time. So they've taken her and using her as they call it, a healer. She's a nurse, and she knows a lot of stuff that they've never heard of, obviously, because she's in the 40s and knows a lot more about medicine than they do, obviously. So let's take it from there, and this is called The Gathering. Trying to escape. Oh, she's playing with the kids.
Tonight we speak! You won't make a meal of me yet! The fish is getting away!
Oh, nasty.
Something catch your eye there, lass?
Not really.
Something I'm not likely to forget in a hurry.
Because they don't wear underwear under their kilts.
Not since I was a bairn for a gathering at Lear.
All right. Shall we let these men get to their festivities? Come on. We're going tomorrow. Of course. All right. Shall we?
Yeah, she rates the piss out of them.
The hunting game was more than a pleasant diversion. It allowed me to reconnoiter the terrain around the castle without suspicion.
Right.
So far, I had found at least 2 possible escape routes and left breadcrumbs to mark my way to freedom.
Well, anything. Oh. Her ribbon. Okay. God, those dresses make her look huge.
Despite my eagerness to leave, my heart lifted whenever I walked through the encampment, and a small part of me regretted my imminent escape. I had the entire route mapped out in my head. At night, both windows would be lighted by torch, beacons to guide me to the breaches and the sentry posts. But I still needed to find distractions from my ever-present shadows.
Mm-hmm. They hate having to babysit her. But the head guy wants her watched at all times.
There would be no turning for home. Not if I had anything to say about it.
Even if she gets back to those stones, there's no guarantee that she's going to find this portal into the
Careless. Mrs.
the
Spence
next
told me I might find you down here.
time, or to
Hope I'm not
portal to
disturbing you.
time travel.
No, of course not. Later tonight, all the fighting men of the Mackenzie clan would gather in the hall and make their oaths of allegiance to Colin. No one would be watching the stables. I was almost ready. Tonight would be my one and only chance to escape Leoch and return to Craig Nadu. I knew how I might dodge my shadows. I had my mount and my provisions. Now all I lacked was a weapon, should I need it. Thank you. I should go. I shouldn't be here.
Aye.
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't be here.
Is he gonna try and put the make on her?
Since you're...
Ooh.
There's a penalty to pay for that.
Ooh. Whoa. Oh my god. She cracked him over the head? Dang.
I had to focus and forget about the incident with Dougal. 15 paces towards the well.
Whoa.
Keep to the northwest to avoid the sentry who usually faces south. Oh, Christ!
No assassinate. Just me.
Dougal and I were in the corridor near the kitchen and he was being forward with me, and I may have walloped him over the head with a chair or something, and I think he's unconscious.
I may have walloped him over the head.
Is he drunk?
Very.
Well, I doubt very much you remember that. It's a bore.
Oh, of course. 20 men armed with spears and muskets. Seems about right to kill one hairy pig.
Mr. Square!
Besides, you're right. What do you expect the poor animal to do with you barbarians chasing it? Do you forget their tusks could be lethal? Right.
Ooh.
Bring him back up to the castle.
Yikes.
Tell Mrs. Fitz to give him some hot broth and some blankets. He'll need to be stitched, but I don't have any sterile tools here.
So you'll be all right then?
Yes. You'll have a limp. Score one for the pig. Maybe next time you'll think about going fishing. All right, take him back now.
Lass, wait for me. Wait!
I've got you, man. Okay? You'll be all right.
Ugh.
Dougal, is it bad? You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
It wasn't spurting, which meant the femoral artery wasn't cut. So there was a good chance I could stop the bleeding at the thigh.
Will I lose my leg?
No, you won't. But that would only allow him to linger in increasing agony. The wound to his
Oh.
abdomen
Yeah, he's gonna die.
was fatal.
Yep. Undo the
Oh, yeah.
tourniquet so he can go faster. Aw. Yep. Undo it so the there we go. He'll go faster and be out of his misery faster.
Tell me here now, man. Did you bed my sister Doreen?
Yeah.
I did better.
He's gonna be honest.
You know, she was a bonny lass. I can't feel my leg anymore.
Mm.
My hand's near.
You're gonna be gone pretty
Dougal, are
soon.
you there, man? I'm here. I've got you.
Geordie. Tell me about your home.
It's near a wide glen, not far from Loch Vanage.
What's it like there? I'll wager it's beautiful.
Ah, it is. In the spring,
Yes.
the heather's so thick, you can walk across the tops without touching the ground.
Sounds lovely.
I wish I could be there now.
You can be there.
Oh, you'll be there soon. Will you stay with me?
Oh.
Yes.
There you are.
There you go. Yeah.
My escape attempt thwarted. I was
Yeah.
faced with the terrifying possibility that I was destined to stay in this dungeon forever. I wasn't ready to give up, but I needed time to come up with another plan.
You've seen men die before,
Mm-hmm.
and by violence.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. She was on the
Many
front
of them.
lines of World War II.
You've done a fine job here as healer. Mrs. Fitz would have you sit for a portrait if it was up to her. And I wanted to thank you personally for
Ooh.
what you did for poor Geordie up there on the hunt.
Oh.
Truth, I did nothing. I wish I could have helped him.
You did.
Yeah.
You took him to a peaceful place,
Yes.
and that's all any of us can ask when we pass.
Yes.
So,
Amen.
thank you.
You're coming on the road.
On the road.
I'm leaving tomorrow and I'm taking you with me.
Whoa.
Taking me where?
Travelling through Mackenzie lands, collecting rents. Tenants and taxmen that can't come to the gathering, that falls to me. And attending to a wee bit of business here and there.
But why me?
I think it would be wise to have a healer along, especially one that does well under strain. And there's a lot of that on the road. So, that's the business settled. Mrs. Fitz will have supper ready, and you don't want to incur her wrath by coming late. We leave at first light.
Another adventure for Claire.
As the confines of the castle walls faded behind me like a bad dream, I took my first full breath in weeks. I had no idea where this journey would lead me, what opportunity might present itself. I could only hope it would bring me closer to the standing stones of Craig Nadine. If so, I was determined to reach them, knowing this time I must not fail.
It's going to be a miracle for her to ever find those, number one, and then to hope that this opening into time and space is still there, that she can just flop back into the right year. Yeah, I think she's stuck there forever, but we'll see, and we'll see the next episode. And any comments, leave them below. If you haven't subscribed already, please do, and click the bell for notifications, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.